Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. This is a top spiritual awakening and new thought ancient wisdom podcast to teach you how to become your highest self, unleash your spiritual superpowers, discover your soul's purpose, and manifest your dreams. Hi, I'm Dr. Erin, Doctor of Divinity, and I'm committed to bringing you the best manifesting and coaching tips, spiritual advice, trauma healing, and metaphysical recovery secrets. I'm here to help you reprogram your subconscious mind, monetize your spiritual gifts, and love your life. I want you to know that I've been exactly where you are, and I believe in you. Together, we're awakening the world. Hi, superstars. Today, I want to break on down really the art of coaching versus the business of coaching. I know so many people out there really are having a desire to help transform the planet, help heal people, help people do their inner soul work. But a lot of people don't know how to make it into a business. So I really want to talk to you a little bit about my own personal struggle as the founder of Spiritual Psychology School and Society, and someone who's built a multi-million-dollar business. So what we're going to do today is we're going to know the truth together with the spiritual mind treatment. I'm going to share a little bit about what's going on for me and my own leadership. And then I want to talk to you about a book that I've been reading by Rick Rubin, The Creative Act, A Way of Being, and break on down a few distinctions for me that are really helping me. And then, of course, go over the universal law this week of the Spiritual Awakening Oracle deck as well. So let's do this thing. So let's first take a deep breath. We put our hands together. We do this actually because there's tons of nerve endings, and I'll take off my glasses so you guys can see my eyes as well to connect, okay? So let's take our hands together, taking together, connecting the right and left hemisphere of the brain, and connecting the heart with the brain, the mini mind and the mastermind. This isn't about some man in the sky. This is about the Christ consciousness within, the Buddha consciousness within, the divine source within, the God source within, whatever you want to call the nameless of the nameless. We do affirmative mind treatment, scientific prayer, and spiritual mind treatment, taking a deep breath in. And I just come into divine presence in gratitude, recognizing this incredible world of the dynamics of the light and dark, the yin and yang, the ups and downs, the suffering and the blessings. I recognize the ability to create heaven and hell, the ability to know total abundance and abundance of scarcity as well. I recognize the division and the divine that is within all of us. And I recognize today is a divine day to realize that there is a mental universe that we live in. There's a mental universe of the equivalent of everything. There's a vibrational match of our entire life. And so we know that all life is like a mental picture of a film being made of this universe, this 3D matrix. And I just know that today I choose to create a life that I love, that is in alignment with my highest authentic self. I simply know this, it is done, as together we say, and so it is. So I'm sending love and light to everyone across the world, knowing there's lots of people suffering across the planet in the wars, in addiction, in sadness, suffering in silence, suffering in loneliness, suffering all levels. And I also recognize the miracles going on this planet, the beautiful divine miracles going on this planet. And I just say yes to life. I say yes to all dynamics of life. So if you're here for the first time, you're just learning who I am Dr. Erin, Doctor of Divinity. I am a metaphysical teacher, and I am the founder of Spiritual Psychology School and Society Community. I'm a mother. I'm an international bestseller. I'm the Walden Wisdom Award with 1,600 spiritual centers next to Oprah Winfrey, Greg Braden, Michael Bernard Beckwith. I'm the creator of Spiritual Awakening Oracle deck cards and the book Awakening as well. And as you can see, I have a podcast called Dr. Erin across all podcast things. So let's break this down. Every week in our community, we have a universal law that we embody. And this week's is the mental equivalent. So this basically states, just want to make sure this is up here, that really and truly that we live in a mental universe, okay? And that everything is a vibrational match, okay? Everything is equivalent, everything you can see. So you could take a look at your life right now, right? And you can think, what are the outpicturing of my relationships? Are they strong? Are they thriving? Or are they dysfunctional, discordant, up and down, right? They're all a mental equivalent of what's happening in consciousness. They're showing you exactly where you are in consciousness, right? And that doesn't mean that you necessarily manifest, say, something in a relationship like a cancer, right? Or someone dies. It doesn't mean that you necessarily manifest or that was a good or bad thing, but your relationship to whatever occurs is the belief around it. Two people can have the same exact situation. Maybe two people are married to alcoholics, and one person is battling it and staying in vicious, tormental cycles all the time. Whereas another person is like, they go, thanks, but I'm done. Or they stay in it and they don't make them wrong and they place their boundaries, right? Whatever that is, there's two people that can have the exact same mental equivalent showing up in their life, but how they relate to it's completely different, right? So the mental equivalent is really taking a look at what's out picturing in your life, what's out picturing in your relationships and love, what's out picturing your career and money, what's out picturing in your health and vitality, what's out picturing in your purpose and calling. Again, it's not about the situation, like something's wrong with you if you're calling it a situation. It's about how you relate to it. So in this, I'm just knowing that here, that life is all about the outpicturing of your relationship, your experience to it. And so your beliefs set the precedent of how you're seeing it. But you need to know that collectively, we manifest from one mind. So all of life, right? The wars, it's not like one person is creating that. The collective has created that, and we're all responsible. So you can take a look at life, and wherever you are resisting it, wherever you are having strife around it, is actually the divine appointment for you to rise into your leadership, to heal thyself, to heal others in that, right? So by pulling this card, it indicates that you must wake up and realize that life is the ultimate mirror, that life is the mirror, and that whatever beliefs you have, life is showing that exactly where you are ready to heal and become the highest version of yourself, okay? So each week, what I'd like to do, I'll be coming here with different interviews, different lessons and teachings. I teach spiritual psychology practitioner coaches. I train and accredit them. I also teach what's called the E4 trauma method, that is quantum healing and quantum manifesting. So we do all kinds of things, from trauma healing to understanding the universe, to understanding how to reprogram the subconscious mind. And so each week I'm going to be coming with a different lesson, some call-ins. I'll be doing call-ins here and interviews and all kinds of fun things. And also taking you around from Los Angeles to London to Miami to all over the place in our events, in our membership, and in our certifications. So today's a special day. It's right after the weekend. And this weekend I took some time. Normally I'm working a lot of my projects or running around, meditating, walking on the beach barefoot, whatever it is. But this weekend I wanted to do a couple things. One, I was taking a course in AI, because AI is such a big part of our business now. And I'm dedicated and committed to becoming the highest version of myself as a leader. So that was one thing I worked on. The second thing I worked on, was I actually listened to an audiobook by Rick Rubin, and it's called The Creative Act, A Way of Being. So I'm actually new to even understanding who Rick Rubin is, but he's super famous. So Rick Rubin, from what I understand, was in music. He was actually in the Beastie Boys. And I grew up in Santa Barbara, California. And let me tell you, that was like, it was everywhere. And he was actually in the band. And so he supposedly went on tour. They were opening act for Madonna in the late 80s or 90s, I'm not sure. And he actually got a terrible earache and he had to leave the tour. And he came home, but all these opportunities began to take place. And he realized that he just had a gift for music. He had a gift for listening to it and developing it. So lo and behold, over time, I don't know how the whole thing unfolded, but he worked with some of the top artists in the industry. And what he would do is he would help them basically channel this incredible art. And in this process, also, he talks about his personal story in interviews. He doesn't talk about it in the book, but through the interviews is how I found his book. And what he said is he actually got to a place where he actually got super depressed and he stopped having his creative flow and he couldn't figure out what was going on. And he ended up having a spiritual awakening, which got me really interested in him. And through his spiritual practices and meditation stuff, he was able to really turn back on these faculties. And he became one of the biggest names in the industry for helping people, hone their art. And one of the things he said in one of the interviews, it was the thing that sparked me wanting to listen to his book, was he said, so many of us we'll start our art and put it out and wait for feedback and likes and comments. And we get so attached to it. And it actually stifles the process of our art. And so I don't know about you, but I definitely have felt that, especially over the last few years, is that I'm a creator and I'm a channel for divine source, as you are, as all of us are. We're different manifesting types. We have different human designs, but the reality is that we all are artists. We are creators. We create. That's all we do is create. And so I really want to talk to you today about the art of coaching, because as a master coach, as a doctor of divinity, no matter which way you slice it, I love to coach. Like, it's really about getting into the consciousness and awakening people. And the word that we use in the industry is coaching. So the art of coaching versus the business of coaching. So I work with many soul-based entrepreneurs. I accredit coaches across the globe. And what I find is there's always a bit of a rift between the business of coaching versus the art of coaching. And so for many people that are in the coaching industry, particularly in the spiritual coaching industry, is they want to stay actually in the art of coaching. They're not wanting to get into the commerce of coaching, but yet they want the money of the commerce of coaching. And so I want to talk to you a little bit today about the difference of the two. So the art of coaching, I believe that if you're in the coaching industry, if you're in the spiritual awakening industry, you got in there because, one, you were probably suffering greatly yourself. You probably were, having a lot of trauma, a lot of suffering. Maybe you went to different seminars, conferences, read books, whatever. That's what happened to me. In 1999, I went to Landmark Forum. I went to all different types of practices. I had no money. I was saved every penny I could to buy the next book. I ended up getting my 9 rights in shamanism. I ended up finding metaphysics and became a spiritual practitioner and a metaphysical minister and a doctor of divinity. And so what happened is, through this whole thing, I fell in love with the art of coaching, that art of being able to go into someone's consciousness and be able to transform their suffering into, their trials into their tribulations, their pain into their purpose, transforming their trauma into their triumphs and birthing their soul's purpose. And I love the art of that. I've created E4 trauma process and many processes, truth triangle framework, and things that many thousands of people use across the globe. And so in this, I love the art of coaching. I happen to also be an entrepreneur and I love business as well. But I love the startup of business. Maintaining business is not exactly my love. In fact, I kind of resist it at some level. But I love branding and I love creating and I love the visionary part of the business of coaching, right? So over the last few years, I found myself kind of like loving it, but my energy was like going down, because I was getting so much more into the details of the business, so much more the managing of the business, even though I've got a team is really beginning to work now. Finally, I've got people across the globe and there's some positions that are really working, but I still end up working on the business, in the business instead of on the business, right? So listening to Rick Rubin and getting inspired and really remembering, hey, who am I? What is my human design? What am I in my astrology, and who I am authentically in my authenticity? We now know that authenticity is a higher frequency than even love. From a project that happened we're measuring the emotions of the positive and negative emotions of people, and they found that authenticity is the most important thing, right? So really getting clear of what this is. So I had to really ask myself, if money was of no object, if I could clear my whole slate clear, going into this new year, it's always a new unit of time. What is my clear love of coaching? Rick Rubin says, if you're writing a book or a real piece of art, a piece of music, or whatever it is, that you never go out to start thinking about publishing or how you're going to distribute or how you're going to market until you've completed the art. And so many coaches will tell you the opposite. Find out what people need and then create a business around that. And that's one way. And I think that you kind of have to decide. Are you somebody that wants to have the art of coaching, or are you somebody that wants to have the business of coaching? You can do both, but you have to really decide which you're going to lead with. Are you going to lead with the business of coaching, realize what is happening in the marketplace, modeling after people in their marketing and funnels, modeling after people on social media, modeling after whatever is working, but you might die a little bit in the process if you're a true artist. Or are you going to be the art of coaching and truly develop yourself, hone your skills, hone those frameworks, hone everything, and master it like a Jedi, and then figure out how to market it afterwards, maybe even hire a marketer, right? What is that for you? So these are some questions I want you to contemplate for yourself. And in that, I'm really looking at this for myself. You know, we have spiritual psychology school that I'll have forever. The programs are profound. We have E4 trauma method and quantum healing and manifesting, and we'll have that forever. I'll never let those things go. But as somebody who's a creator, that you get to start from a blank slate wherever you can hand those things off. You can make those evergreen. You can put them on hold. You can do anything you choose. We can create whatever we want. And so right now, what I truly am committed to is bringing truth to the world in ways that I love it, because if you're getting sad, the world is so sad right now. And what makes people sad is one thing, is that they don't love. They're not loving life. That life force is love. And if you don't love life, or you don't love yourself, or you're not having anything to love, your life force will go down, down, down. And that's what I started noticing more and more about myself. If we want to fully thrive and fully have life force and fully live fully, there's one key factor that has to happen, and it's love. So do you love the art of coaching, or do you love the business of coaching? You can have both, but you've got to decide which. And if it's the art of coaching, you need to figure out another financial resource. I mean, or maybe you're lucky enough to have some money in the bank. Or maybe you need to keep that position while you hone those skills, so you don't have to think about the business of coaching, or you can get committed to both. But really and truly, I just don't want you to be delusional. I don't want you to just focus on the art of coaching and not think about any of the commerce of coaching and then wonder why it's not monetizing, because you have to master both. We're here to master, as spiritual leaders, the ethereal and the human, having our head up in the ethers as high as possible, being a channel for straight divine source, and having 2 feet on the ground, being able to strategize in our skill set. And so in this, I'm knowing that whatever you're creating for your life, you're creating every day. With your words, with your thoughts, with your belief, with your identity, you're creating exponentially. You are a powerful, infinite creator. So let's just end with a benediction, a blessing. It's a affirmative mind treatment. It's really acknowledging the benefits and the blessings. So taking a deep breath in again. And just recognize this mental equivalent, this universal law, which is, there's only one law, which is the law of cause and effect, the law of oneness, the one of love, whatever you want to call it. And there's so many distinctions of that. So this law of the mental equivalent is one distinction of the universal law. And I'm just knowing spiritual awakening into the love. May we know the highest of the highest teachings, which is love. Whatever you focus on will expand. If you hate things, hate your business, it's going to diminish. If you love it, it will expand. If you don't like it, if you resist it and you're having frustration, it will diminish. This is the love frequency. Whatever you love will expand. Whatever you don't love will diminish. If you love life, your life force will expand. If you don't love life, it will diminish. I simply know this. Absolutely. It is truth. I simply know this, as together we say, and so it is. And so it is, you guys. So if you're not already in my community, I invite you. We have a WhatsApp group. We have a Facebook group. We have all kinds of free gifts for you. We have a free masterclass for you to discover your soul's purpose. You can have lots of things. There's a free gift for you to have 52 universal laws and the manifesting challenge with all the information and stuff with the universal laws in there as well. You can also get 40 meditations, guided meditations with my other book. It's a free PDF book. You can also get the book off Amazon. All those links are below. And if you are ready to join one of my life-changing events or life-changing membership or life-changing certifications, you could head right on over to drerin.tv or Spiritual Psychology School. You can have all the links below. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can get all the deets, everything. You can also go listen to the podcast across all podcast places, okay? Have a beautiful, blessed day, and may you live your truth. Thank you for tuning in to the Dr. Erin Show. If you're ready to transform your life, discover your soul's purpose, and manifest your dreams, go to drerin.tv. Join me in my life-changing events, membership, or certification. If you're ready to become a certified coach and get trained in metaphysics of mind, manifestation, and the creative process, subconscious reprogramming, trauma recovery healing, spiritual psychology, universal law, and much more, go to drerin.tv. If you're receiving value from the show, I would love it if you would share it with a friend and give it a 5-star review. Have a beautiful day, and may you live your truth.